Hi guys, it's Autumn here from itsalwaysautumn.com. I have a new recipe for you today. These are pumpkin pie cinnamon rolls with maple cream cheese frosting. Here's how you make them. Okay, you're going to want to start with a batch of your favorite bread dough, or you can use my favorite rolls and soft breadsticks dough. And there are links to that recipe on the site in the post. So it's about a 3.25 cup of flour recipe of dough. You'll want to mix it as directed and then allow it to get through its first rise. Once that's done, you're going to start rolling it out on a floured surface. You want it to be about 12 inches tall by 18 inches wide. I like to use one of these Silpat mats because that's how big they are, and so it makes it really easy for me to tell if I'm getting the dough the right shape and size. Once your dough is ready, you can start mixing up the filling ingredients. You'll need 3/4 cup of canned pumpkin. That's about half of a 15-ounce can. 1/3 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of melted butter, and 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. Just throw them all in a bowl and mix it up with a spoon until everything's incorporated. Now just dump the filling onto your dough rectangle and use your spoon to spread it out. You want to make sure to get it to all the way to each of the short edges, all the way to the sides there. But you can leave about 1 inch or 1.5 inches of space along that bottom long edge, because once we roll it up, that's where we'll crimp it. So once you've spread it out, just start at the top long edge and carefully roll it, making a pretty tight log. When you get to the bottom, just pull the bottom up and use your fingers, just pinch it so that that log will stay tightly closed. Get a 9x13 baking dish and just spray it with nonstick spray, and then grab a length of thread. It's the easiest way to cut cinnamon rolls, or these pumpkin pie cinnamon rolls. If you try to use a knife to cut through them, they'll just kind of squish. So what I like to do is lift up the roll with my thumbs, put the thread underneath it, and then you can see I'm crisscrossing the thread over the top and pulling. And that just does a really nice job slicing these rolls. I usually make 12 to 14 rolls out of this recipe. I only put 12 of them in the 9x13 pan. If I end up with 14 or 15, I'll put the 2 or 3 extra in another small greased baking dish. On the pan, they're going to need to rise for about 30 minutes until they look nice and puffed and the edges of them are touching each other. At that point, you pop them into a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, let's make some frosting. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of butter and 4 ounces of cream cheese, and you want both of these to be pretty soft. At room temperature is great. You also need 3 cups of powdered sugar, and I like to start with just about half of it in the bowl. You're also going to need maple extract. I used imitation maple extract, and it tasted great. I used about 3/4 teaspoon. You can mix this up with a hand mixer or in your KitchenAid. I just use a hand mixer here because it's easier, but you can see my bowl's a little too small, so I make a bit of a mess. You'll notice as you start to mix it that it looks a little bit clumpy, and we are going to add just a tiny bit of milk, but don't put milk in too soon. Just keep mixing for a while and it's going to start coming together. When it looks like that, it's starting to hold together, you can pour the rest of the powdered sugar in and just a little bit of milk. Just a teaspoon, maybe 2 teaspoons if you need to. If you put too much milk in though, you're going to end up with a runny frosting, and I like a really nice thick creamy frosting on cinnamon rolls. So just a little bit of milk and keep mixing till it's nice and smooth. The last thing you want to do with the frosting is add in a good shake of pumpkin pie spice. It mixes with that maple flavoring and just really makes these taste fantastic. Okay, you want to pull the rolls out of the oven after about 20 minutes when they're just golden brown on top. These ones here, I probably left a minute too long. You want them a little bit lighter. After they come out, I like to let them cool for about 10 minutes so they're not super hot, and then just load up with the frosting. You can frost them as soon as they get out, but the frosting will melt and run all over. So I like to give them just a few minutes so they're still warm, but not super, super hot. And then it's time to dig in. I wish you guys could smell these. Pumpkin spice fall holiday deliciousness. These babies are fantastic. Thanks for visiting It's Always Autumn. And remember to check the site for free printable recipe cards and lots of other fantastic stuff. See ya!